Hi, my name is Kelsey Phinney. I'm a sophomore at Middlebury College, and I am on the Nordic ski team, and I am studying neuroscience. I started skiing in elementary school. Mainly I started downhill skiing originally with my family. My parents would take me out Nordic skiing as well, and I sort of didn't like it initially. It was a little too hard for my taste. In middle school, I went to see a couple friends race, and I just remember seeing all of these kids or teenagers in their full suits of spandex racing through the cold as hard as they could and sort of collapsing across the finish line. And I thought it was something that I had to try.
I think she very much lives by the creed that if you're going to do something, it's worth doing it well. And so she's very thorough in everything she does, and kind of exemplifies the model of the student athlete, and that she challenges herself both in the classroom and on the field of play.
When I was 5, my father was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and at the time I didn't really know what that meant. But as I grew older, I started sort of looking into it. For the past few summers, I've had the opportunity to go out and shadow this group of neurologists in the clinic at Stanford. One of them is my dad's neurologist, and that's how I met her. I've gotten to follow them in clinic as they diagnose or treat patients with movement disorders. And from a scientific standpoint, I thought it was very interesting. And then from a personal standpoint, I have sort of an additional drive that motivates me to do it. One of the things I love about Nordic skiing is that while you're racing individually and your race really comes down to your own effort, there's a huge team dynamic. But some of racing is just part of doing your best, even if you are last. And I know my dad tells this one story in the Tour de France of being the last rider up the Alpe d'Huez, which is one of the hardest climbs in France. And he's just dying, and all of these people are on the road just crowding in on him and like yelling and cheering his name, and that he just like had to keep going and had to keep going. He thought he was thought he was going to miss the time cut, and then he actually did make the time cut with a few seconds to spare.
She obviously has some good genetic lines in her family, but I don't think that she definitely does not rely on that. Whatever she accomplishes, she will accomplish through hard work and her own, intrinsic motivation and dedication. And I'm really excited to be able to work with her.
I love it here. I think that through college we grow a lot as people, and I'm really happy that I decided to come to Middlebury. Especially, it's such a wonderful place to spend 4 years.